Our approach from day to day isn't much different. Whether it's, we're preparing for spring practice or for the season, probably what differs is the numbers. We practice less guys that are on roster in spring versus the fall. We try to look at both seasons as the same. We're going to throw the same intensity. We're going to throw the same resources. We talk a lot with our players about being proactive, maintenance, about taking care of their bodies, and a lot of ways. Whether it's hydration, it's their fluid intake, it is stretching, flexibility, utilizing the staff, the resources in the athletic training room. Whether it's getting in the hot and cold tubs, using the different foam rollers, or even going down in the strength and down the weight room to use the foam rollers, stretch bands, those things down there. Try and get those legs back. We use a lot of the cold tubs. We're fortunate here to have two large tubs, hot and cold, that they can access and use pre and post practice, and particularly those positions that are skill positions where there's quite a bit of running involved. Try to prevent hamstring injuries, groin injuries. Try to get those guys in the tubs. Just try to get their legs back, kind of push out some of that gunk that can build up after practice. This is a very physical game. Bumps and bruises are part of it. It's always, we do an injury check every Sunday, to where if there's an injury we're aware of from the night before, we're able to reevaluate it, assess it to what their status is going to be as we move throughout the week, as well as get the appropriate testing if it's necessary. So we, have an accurate account whether somebody's going to be available to practice. There's going to be a limitation in practice, or potentially there could be a limitation, or there could be their game status could be in jeopardy due to the injury, as well as using the Coach Peoples in the weight room. There's he lifts throughout the week. There could be a restriction in the weight room, or there's things they can't do because they're not physically able to do it, and that's our first gauge of where we're at to start the week. And as the week moves on, we go through that process of not only reevaluating but also determining, giving them certain parameters which they can practice, whether that limitation early on may eventually get back into that contact, or into whatever their injury is limited them from. We try to give them the basic information to where they understand it. Oftentimes, when we're dealing with an injury where it's whether it's they're limited for a period of time or for the season, they'll be seen by one of our physicians, whether it's one of our orthopedics, Dr. Seisman, Dr. Nelson, or Dr. Baker, our general practitioner at our family practice. They'll evaluate and assess, and then explain what's going on, reason why we're doing the things we're doing, and then I in turn usually will follow up with some questions and try to explain that further, so that by the time that athlete walks out of the athletic training room, they have hopefully they're comfortable with what's going on and what they're dealing with. Try to be as thorough in our explanation as we can.